My dear, I don't give a damn.
Alright guys, it's Tell. I'm just gonna do a 7.2 guide since it was requested, and I was planning to do it anyways eventually, but I'll do it a little bit earlier than intended. I'm gonna go over PvE talents, PvP talents, a few comps, a little tip and trick here and there just to help you out, maybe give you the edge in arena. How to go over, how to use the momentum build, what's better than Nemesis, how to utilize it, and how to properly burst with it. Okay, that's the biggest question I've gotten so far. So I'll start out with PvE talent. Oh, and I'll throw in some meditations here just so you can skip to whatever you're looking for. Maybe the new build, the PvP talents, the PvE talents, whatever. Okay, so for PvE talents, you're gonna be using Fellblade all the time. All right, it's a gap closer, instant gap closer, I might add. Does a pretty decent chunk of damage as well. Generates a lot of fury. The 100 tier, you'll be using Demon Blades because it works well with Solitude, and when you use Metamorphosis, you get more haste. So it means more Demon Blades procs. It is the biggest DPS increase of these three talents. Demonic Appetite is the best survivability choice, however, alright? I have used it in 3 very rarely, alright, so as wanky as it sounds if you're a decent Demon Hunter. But it does work in duels as well, 25% instant heal when you do proc it. 102 tier, you'll be using Bloodlet all the time. It's just consistent damage, nobody can escape from it, it's 100% uptime. You can also stack the bleed, right? So it's hitting for 2 mil, bam. Now it's hitting for... wait, now it's hitting for 3 mil, alright? And now before that bleed falls off, you can stack it up again. And it does have a cap, I believe, of like 70% of the initial tick can be added on to what was prior or something like that. This is just a wanky damage because it's PvE and not a target dummy. But you can just keep stacking that, keep it high, you know, it hits very hard, especially on multiple targets. The 104 tier, Desperate Instincts you'll be using, and Netherwalk, alright? Desperate Instincts works with Glimpse. Netherwalk you can use it's pretty much just a bubble as a pally, you know, you can use it if big cast is coming your way, whatever. Instincts makes you very hard to swap to and instantly kill, and I'll explain why once I get over to Hardiness and Glimpse on the other tier. The 106 tier is the momentum build, you'll be taking this, I'll be telling you why later. The 108 tier, Blade Master, that's what you use to stack Bloodlet. What the heck is that? Alright, just ignore it. Just ignore it for now. Unleashed Power, you'll use maybe if you're playing with a mage or something that has a consistent slow, just for the extra stun. The 110 tier, Chaos Blades, is very easily counterable by like a full poly or any full CC. Even like a stun or something. You only have one trinket as a Demon Hunter, you know, one way out of a CC by yourself. So Chaos Blades can be disarmed, stunned, polyed, spam feared, whatever you want to throw at it. It's very easily counterable. Fel Barrage you'll be using with Momentum, and Demonic isn't that viable overall. It might be once the artifact here for Wide Eyes is fully utilized, filled out. For PvP talents, Gladiator's Medallion, Hardiness. This is the controversial one. Hardiness is overall the best for most players. That's because it makes you 20% harder to instantly swap to. Alright, so they swap to you, you take 20% less damage. Then in between 80% and 35%, you'll take normal damage. But then as soon as you hit that low mark, you'll instantly proc Desperate Instinct. So it's very hard to swap and instantly kill you with Hardiness. Yeah, it's very hard to kill you. Sparring versus anything that's double melee, so double physical melee though. So a Ret Paladin Survival Hunter, for instance, is mostly melee damage, alright, or melee damage. I don't know how to fucking pronounce it. That's like one of the only times you'd ever use it, or like Warrior Ret, or you know, like some Wonko comp like that. That's when you use sparring. 10% HP is negligible, it literally just disappears instantly, and it's not really a buff unless you're like a survival hunter that has a percent heal built into your class. Then that'll be increased of course for the 10%, but still Hardiness is better in that situation. Solitude, if you're playing with a caster like a Demo, Ellie, Mage, a Boomkin, and that's because they'll be hitting people in the back, they'll be pew-pewing, you'll be right up in their face, you'll get the Solitude buff and 15% damage and 15% attack speed. The attack speed makes your demon blades proc more because you're attacking more often, etc. Very strong. If you're playing something like Warrior or Arms Warrior Demon Hunter, Glimpse is what you'll be taking, or Cover, and Glimpse is very powerful because say they have a full moon coming in on you, or like a full moon, a chaos bolt, whatever's flying through the air, you can just glimpse it, and it'll hit you like a wet noodle and all their spaghetti's gone. So Glimpse is very strong. Darkness versus something that has very, very high burst. You can use it maybe on a RMD or RMP in the old, like a lot of the time I like to switch to your druid. You can just dash over to your druid, darkness on him. You won't have to pop a single cooldown or trinket, and he'll easily live their entire burst. Next tier, Unending Hatred, you'll only use versus like double caster, and it's very specific, maybe like Shadow Priest Shaman or Shadow Priest Boomy you'll use it against, and you'll be maxed out on Fury the entire game. You'll never be below 100%, you'll just be pumping out damage. Reverse Magic for everything else. Mage, Hunter, Warlock, whatever has, or Paladin, whatever has an instant magical CC that you can use on your healer to get him out of it. It's just a 1 minute trinket for your healer, pretty much, is how you'll typically use it. You can also very rarely use it on like a mage route. I did that once just to finish him off. Other than that, choose between these two. Eye is pretty much useless. It's very easily, you know, stop attacking for 6 seconds, whatever. Most spells aren't instant cast as well, so they can't instant cast themselves to death. Demonic Origins, free 10% damage. You'll always be using this. It gives you a lot of kill opportunity with Metamorphosis. Plus the 10%, that stacks with Solitude. Very high damage output, sustained. That's what you're all about now, right? Is the sustained and then like the burst opportunities with CC. You'll only use Awaken the Demon. It did get buffed to 50%, which is good. But Awaken the Demon, you'll only really use maybe at lower CR if you run into maybe a triple DPS comp, right? And you'll just shit on them if you use it. Trust me, I've done it before. And maybe if you're running your trying to figure out your first 2K, trying to get it, first 2,000 rating 3s, get that elite gear, man. You could run Awaken the Demon versus any triple DPS comp, and it's pretty much a guaranteed win. A Detainment, very strong. It's an instant CC, an instant defensive CC, an instant offensive CC. It's just a clone from a druid renamed. Its DR works really well with most Demon Hunter comps. You can always get it off. Because of the 30-second cooldown, you don't ever have to worry about DRs for the majority of the time. Rain from Above, if someone's going to be training you, Demon Hunter. Hits for 7% guaranteed every time you tick it. If you're playing with like an enhancement shaman, they hero you up in the air, you'll just be spamming out Rain from Above blast every like half a global, right? So you can really just eat someone away. Mana Break, there's 3 classes I use this against: Affliction Locks, Demo Locks, and Discipline Priest. All 3 of those classes use mana, and they very quickly, alright? Maybe within 5 minutes they'll be really low on mana. You can just Mana Break them for 1.1 mil. That's what I've had it hit this patch in 3s. Very strong finisher. People never expect it. You know, it's a massive chunk with Demon Hunter. So now I'll go over how to utilize the new momentum build while bursting, pretty much without Metamorphosis. All right. So I'll go over it quickly verbally before I actually do it in the game. So pretty much you'll have your build out on your target. You'll be on your target, right? You'll just be on them. So you'll Illidari, retreat, Fel Barrage on your way back in, Fel Rush, Chaos Strike, then finish with an I-Beam. Alright, and during the I-Beam is optional, but I like to do it. During this, you will do a massive amount of damage. You'll have momentum up the entire game. So, right, so you're on your target. Typically, you want to burst with more than 80 Fury. Alright, so if you're blooded on your target, Illidari, retreat, so you get your momentum, Fel Barrage, dash, Chaos Strike, and bam, they're going to be taking a massive amount of damage. As I said, you can finish with momentum I-Beam on the target. That's how you burst with the new build. The reason why it's much better is because 75% nerf to Nemesis, last 15 seconds, with 3 abilities, 2 dashes, 1 retreat, that's already 12 seconds, right? Within like 30 seconds of usage. So you're getting way more out of momentum than you would with Nemesis right now in PvP. Bell Eruption, yeah, they did buff it, so it's only 10 Fury now. It just doesn't do enough damage, and it DRs with stuns, you know. So overall momentum, Fel Barrage, way to go. Hope this guide helped you out. Oh, a quick little tip. So if you really want to utilize your Fel Blade, you can retreat and you're on the target. Retreat. I don't know why it didn't work there. I'll cut until when it does work. So here we go. So you retreat and you just instantly Fel Blade right back to the target. You'll get your momentum and you'll be able to stay on them without having to, you know, like dash and then run back, or like aim for a wall so you don't overextend and run away from your target, so you're on them all the time. Momentum does take a bit more skill than the other spec, but after a few minutes you will get used to it about the timing. Really hope this guide helps you out, and that's about all there is to it. See you guys in the arenas.